Hey guys, it's Peter, and in this video I just want to share with you exactly how I would launch a product online from Ireland if I was to start all over again. And the reason I can tell you this is because I have done this so many times now, right? I've launched products. There's a bit of a process to it. The first thing that you need to know is you need to know, well, what product am I going to sell? Okay. Now, if I was you, I would recommend selling something with good sales velocity, which basically means it's making sales, right? So ideally, I'd like to see a couple of hundred to 1,000 units per month on one Amazon listing, right? At least. But even better if that's spread across multiple Amazon listings, because what we're looking for now is we're not looking for one item that sells well. We're looking for, a market, a niche that has a lot of sales. Because if all these other products are selling, if you can create a superior product, it's going to sell. And even if it's not superior, if the price is low enough, it's going to sell because there's enough demand there, right? But we're not going to go there. We're going to create something superior. So as I said, we want to find out if there's good demand. We can do that, what I said with Amazon. So we have a look and see, Amazon tells you there's X amount bought in the past month, right? So that gives us an idea. We can also use Google Trends. If we type the main search term for that product into Google Trends, is it consistent? It's not like down at the bottom and basically zero. Is it like a nice consistent graph? If it is, that means there's demand consistently, right? Likewise, I don't want the item to be seasonal. So I don't want an item that might sell well at one time of the year and not so well at the other. This product is going to be a product that has demand all year round, because that's just, look, to be honest with you, we don't want to be trying to cram all sales into 6 months. We want all sales to happen over a 12-month period, right? Once I identify what my product is going to be, I want to find out, well, hold on, can I get this made, right? So I want to reach out to suppliers and actually start seeing what is available to purchase, what's available to customize. And I start negotiating with that supplier. Ideally, what I want to do is I want to get a low MOQ. So it's a low minimum order quantity in order to test product market fit. But I'm not just going to order the product off the supplier. Ideally, I want to customize it. So perhaps that involves making changes to the molding. Perhaps that involves, adding some bonus items. Perhaps that involves creating a better box. I want to do all this to ensure that the customer has a more positive and better experience when they receive the item. And ideally, what I'm developing or what I'm designing should be better than what is available on the market at the moment, right? And I mean in terms of the product itself, or maybe just a more competitive price, but ideally both. But 100% the product has to be like top class. It can't be a product that, has faults, right? It has to be really, really, really good quality, right? This is actually what we've done with a product that we recently launched in the mountain bike space, right? It's a small market, small niche, but the product, we made a superior product and we offered at a superior price point with an offer that the customers can't resist. And because of that, we've done really well. But it's a small market, as I said, small niche. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for an item that actually has, really good sales velocity. So once I've done that, I would actually get the sample. And I get the sample sent to me after negotiating back and forth and just making sure the numbers work. I get the sample sent to me. And the purpose of that is just to make sure that the quality is what I expect. Okay. And I review it and I test it and I do everything as a customer would to ensure that this is a good supplier, right? Once I'm happy, I want some this product is good, this pricing is good, I can make a margin. I start putting together, first of all, my first order. I agree that with the supplier, but I also start putting together all my branding. So I come up with, a brand name. I get it trademarked. I come up with the domain. I come up with my marketing materials. I come up with my infographics. I do everything to ensure that every touch point for the consumer has consistent branding, right? And that requires a bit of an investment, but when you do that, that is going to help you stand out from the competition, because we're not creating, a simple, boring item. We're creating a product, an investment, an asset, something that actually potentially you could sell down the line, okay? When that is done, we need to be liaising with our supplier to let them know that we want this branding, this creative, this logo, We want all this included in the product, included on the box, right? Because again, has to be consistent, right? Now, sometimes the supplier can start the production of the product before those little details are confirmed. But either way, it doesn't want to be a surprise for the manufacturer. They want to know that this is the way we want it to be, right? And what could be even better is that if they could do like a mock-up before they actually do the final run, and you confirm that mock-up over email or in person to make sure that the product is going to be produced the way you want, right? Once this is done and the order is ready, what I generally recommend is to get a third-party agent in China to actually go and visit the factory and just make sure that the product is up to scratch, that it meets the requirements and the criteria that you set out. Because I've had experiences before where I haven't done this, and when the item reaches the fulfillment center, wherever I'm getting dispatched from to the consumer, and there's a problem, I can't fix that, right? I can't fix it because I'm not physically there, right? So I want to make sure it's right before it leaves China, because that's where it can get fixed. Likewise, you haven't paid your balance to the supplier yet. You've only paid usually about 30% to begin the production, and they're inclined to fix it before you pay that balance. But a good supplier, either way, will work with you and generally try to overcome these problems. But it's best sorted when the product is in China, not when it's at the destination country, right? I create my website, do all my Amazon listings. I'd set all this up. What I'm doing is I'm making it ready that whilst the product is at sea, being shipped from China, I'm finalizing all those details. So when the product arrives then into Amazon, I can hit the ground running with sales by, first of all, enrolling in the Vine program, which is to get reviews of my product, but likewise doing some small PPC. In tandem to that, I have my product live on Shopify, and I have started making sales there because I've gone out to influencers or I've ran some paid ads to bring traffic to my Shopify store as well. And the purpose of this is to get that initial traction, prove product market fit before I move to my next order. Now, at the beginning, I might decide only to send my products to the UK, for example, or maybe I've decided I'm only going to send them to the US, or maybe I've decided I'm going to send them to all these marketplaces, right? Or more. Whatever happens, that is how I would launch a brand from Ireland. That is the process I would use. Now, there's a lot more little nuances to that, but at a high level, you do that right, you have created an asset that you can grow into something substantial, right? And those little investments in terms of creative, in terms of packaging, in terms of customer experience, that's what brings the value to the brand. And the brand is what gives your product its asset value. And it's also what encourages customers to ultimately purchase from you and actually sometimes pay more than they'd pay the competition, right? So there you are. If you want to do this, if you're interested in doing this, I am looking for people that want to launch a brand like this, to launch a quality product, to build an asset. And you can find more information down below. But either way, I hope you found this video helpful, and I will talk to you soon.